So you see how much a social media platform can provide great marketing contribution to companies. They noticed based on your location, you are on travel. They know about your interest, for example, your favorite food, and exactly at that time suggestion of some restaurant in the destination city that you are in could be interesting for us. And finally, according to the things that we discussed, um, you notice that how much valuable is the data we live with social media analytics, not because of they in the original format, because of the analytics they put on them. And that's the reason I agree with the idea that we are not customers of social media platforms. We are, in fact, products of social media platforms. In the previous three slides, we check that they know about our close friends, they know about our interests, they know about our locations, and many other things. Is this an invasion of privacy? See, my friends, when you see such a question, it again approves the fact that there is still no strict rule in this area. Because, for example, when we are talking about personal property, trespassing has a very clear definition. But when it comes to social media, when it comes to this area, since it is the beginning of all the things, the story is different. According to the Harvard Law Journal published in 1890, each person is entitled to full protection in terms of person and property. With emerging media platforms continuing to appear every day, the idea of privacy invasion by these platforms is becoming more prominent. And of course, in future, we will have more strict rules in this area, in a way that the rules that now we have are more strict in comparison to 10 years before. For example, I remember after that Cambridge Analytica scandal, many rules were approved by legislation centers, and they imposed more responsibility on social media platforms. With our devices and social media platforms collecting our personal data and using it to determine who we are and what to market to you, we have to begin to question when data collection is crossing the line. And it is something that needs its expert. But since we are living in a society and we have experience of respecting and being respected in terms of privacy, you already know a lot about these things. For example, if I bring up a homework for you and give you a case and ask you if it is invasion of privacy or not, you already have your own opinion. Okay, but what we are talking about, it's something that is legislated, and it is being effective in a way that everybody must follow it. Okay, some believe that media platforms' control over digital footprint is harmless if it provides a better user experience. I agree with this thing, that I'm saying that if it ends in the better experience of better user experience, that's acceptable. And of course, many of the data that we are provided on these platforms could be analyzed in terms of helping companies to make better product, to offer better services without sharing the data. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about descriptive analytics. I'm talking about descriptive statistics. Just to know, for example, about the statistics happens in this area, but not sharing some private data that maybe some people feel uncomfortable about those things. But as long as it is about better user experience, for example, when they know that and they suggest me the videos, the posts that could be more of interest toward me, for me, okay, that's okay. If they help companies to, for example, based on the data that is over there, they make their product better aligned with all those things, is acceptable. And also another point that I believe is that, see, you provide some data to them and you show them some sort of behavior. Based on that, they come up with some attributes about us. For example, they noticed we may need something that we already don't know. So they use it to send us some marketing that could help us to improve the quality of our lives and all those things. You see, this type of things, I believe, is okay. But if this data being used for companies to give them an upper hand in comparison to the other rivals and make the competition unfair, of course it is not acceptable. I'm telling you, we can talk about these things a lot, and I just want to, according to the remaining time, say the main points that come to my mind, plus the points that you see in this slide. Okay, here, maybe you have this question about Cambridge Analytica, that how did it turn clicks into votes? Because we talked about the fact that they harvested the data of many Facebook profiles and they use it to swing the election toward another, to turn to their favorite party, to their favorite candidate. You may have that question: how did they do it? The general picture, the overall picture is this: they go, because now you know about many of the points that we discussed, so they go and get the data over there. What are the data they are going and check? They are checking their friends, they are checking their browsing history, they are checking their likes, they are checking their posts, and all those things. Based on all the things that they are checking, of course, they know those people better. They noticed their politics or political orientation. They noticed about the type of character they are and all those things. Remember, the psychological part of the story is not related to the analytical part. For example, you, my friends, as data analytics students and in future data analyticians, you just need to know the part that is related to data science. Now we are going to review these points that we have to get the overall idea that how they turn the clicks into votes by data analytics. how do 87 million records scraped from Facebook become an advertising campaign that could help swing an election? Of course, swing an election toward their favorite party, toward their favorite candidate. All you need to know is a little bit about data science and a little bit about human psychology. My friends, the points that you see here, a little bit, they are not my words. They are exact words of the mind, the mastermind behind the data analytics project in this company. So that person believes what you need to know to be able to do this is a little bit of data science and human psychology. The targeted Facebook data is mostly text, like natural language. For example, the comments you put on your friends' posts, and click stream data, that is the complete record of your browsing activity on the web. Those are all the features that you want to use to predict. And in future, you will understand more about these things, how you can categorize text into different categories and label them differently. So they check about the likes that you have, they check about the text you use, and these things to predict something. The target variables. The target variable is something that they are predict. The target variable are the things that you are trying to predict for. In this case, they are personality traits and political orientation. So they classify all those 87 million people based on political orientation and personality traits. And after that, when they know they notice their political orientation and their personality trait, they are gonna message them. They are gonna message them based on these two things, their personality traits and political orientation. How they are gonna message them? Remember, they harvested all the data. They may have their address, they may have their phone number, they may have their email address, and also they have their Facebook accounts. Okay, so they can bombard them with messages that can influence them in the favor of their party, or in the favor of their favorite party or a candidate. Let's check it. For example, a neurotic, extroverted, and agreeable Democrat or Republican, no matter, could be targeted with a radically different message that an emotionally stable, introverted, intellectual one, each designed to suppress their voting intention. When it says suppress their voting intention, it means that to influence them. So they craft the message in a way that they make sure it put the maximum impact on the receiver, because they know a lot about that person and they now know much better how they should approach that person. And as the last point, for example, we have an example. For example, you want to talk about the job market future after each of these candidates win. Okay, if you are talking to a conscientious person, you talk or message them about the opportunity to succeed and the responsibility that a job gives you. If it is an open person, you talk about the opportunity to grow as a person. And when you talk to a neurotic person, you emphasize the security that it gives you to your family. Okay, so you see, this last point is not related to data analytics. It is just an example, and it says you want to talk to people and impress them from the perspective of job market. So it would be different if that person is conscientious person or that person is a neurotic person. Thank you.